Part 2 encountered danger with the barbarians' army and then escorted by the Red Robes' army. At first, when these things reached the emperor's ears, he just laughed it off. But there were so many people who complained, and the emperor started to have a headache. So, I wanted to teach the 14th prince a lesson. But I could see his chubby, bun-like face that was about to cry, and he looked wronged, so I couldn't help myself. I have to say that Ming Yu inherited the exquisite facial features of Empress Yuan, and was later nourished and chubby. If he wasn't a little silly, he would still be very endearing. The emperor once joked that his old 14 had a lucky face and was lucky to him. In this way, he couldn't be beaten, he couldn't be scolded, and in the end, he couldn't be reprimanded or punished. Those people suffered a loss, and the emperor also deliberately protected his son. There was no way but to knock out their teeth and swallow blood. Since they can't do anything about it, they can only hide from a distance when they see this unreasonable little lunatic. As a result, Ming Yu's reputation for being domineering, arrogant, and stupid was spread everywhere. And Ming Yu did not mean to restrain at all, and still went his own way. Because of this, Ming Yu's bad deeds are everywhere, and everyone in Beijing is unaware of it. The emperor also had no way to take him, and finally, at the suggestion of concubine Shu, when he was adult age, he began to arrange the fief of the 14th prince. In this way, it is far away, and it is out of sight and out of mind, and it will prevent him from causing trouble again. And it will be good for everyone. Now that it's decided, put it on the agenda. But in the end, it was his own son, and also the second son born to the Empress Yuan, and Ming Yu was a little stupid. So, he thought of arranging a small place near the land of Jingji for him to play. Even if there is any problem, the emperor can solve it for him in time, right? The land in Jingji is full of gold and fertile fields, and even small places fall into the nest of blessings. Many people were very jealous when they heard the news. And concubine Shu tore up several veils. How could a foolish prince have such a good fief? Just when the emperor had already decided, Ming Yu suddenly went crazy and didn't want the blessed land arranged by the emperor. He pointed to the westernmost piece of land on the map, and said, "I don't want his fief anywhere. Just here." The emperor afraid this stupid son can't even read the map, right? Just point to a place and you'll be identified. The emperor tried to explain to him clearly that he was a loving father. For the sake of this stupid son, and for the future of this stupid son to live easy and happy life. However, Ming Yu is determined not to listen. No matter how good you say, he will ignore it. He expressed his attitude: either his territory is there, or he should not give himself a fief, or play freely in the palace. This stupid son who doesn't eat hard and soft is so angry that the emperor blows his beard and stares. How can other sons dare to fool around in front of him? Aren't they all silent? That's why he couldn't do anything about this stupid son. Sometimes I really wish I could beat him up personally, but he is the prince of the world. So he has to be tolerant and can't care about this stupid son. After doing countless heart constructions, the emperor finally compromised. That's all, that's all. I can't help my father, let him go. Pity my father's heart, but no one appreciates it. After hearing this, concubine Shu couldn't close the corners of her mouth when she smiled. A fool is a fool, haha, don't leave a good place. But choose Liangcheng. What is Liangcheng? Desolate and chaotic, where even criminals are unwilling to be exiled. That fool actually wants to make his own fief there. I am afraid that once he goes, he will never have a chance to come back. Not only concubine Shu, but in less than half a day, the news spread outside the palace and all over the streets of the capital. Some clapped their hands to cheer, some sighed in pity, and most of them were watching jokes. A fool is a fool, even if it is a prince. there are not many people who are too stupid to rush to die. Ming Yu didn't care about all of this, and since he got what he wanted, he was satisfied. As for what he thought and why he chose this place, he had to say that he had this novel magazine, Dayan Country, in his hand. What do those mortals know? What's so good about Jingji land? Prosperity is good, but only if you have the ability to keep it. Even if the emperor can take care of you a little, the emperor can't take care of you for the rest of your life, right? At that time, he will become meat on someone else's chopping board and be slaughtered by others. But Liangcheng in the west is different. In the eyes of others, it is a land of chaos. In his eyes, it is the only entrance to the Silk Road. It is the lifeline of the economy. Although there is nothing now, it does not mean that there will be nothing in the future. So, there is a scene where hundreds of them are now heading west. Ming Yu stretched his waist long and rubbed his shoulders and arms with a little back pain. Although the carriage was very comfortable and the thick mattress was soft, it couldn't stand the bumps of staying in it for a long time. At the right time, there was movement outside the carriage, and a voice reported, "His Royal Highness, it's getting late. There is a village ahead, do we want to go there and set up camp?" Ming Yu heard the voice and knew that it was the guard commander Mo Zhong. Mo Zhong was chosen by the emperor to protect him. Of course, its ability is not to say much, the main thing is absolute loyalty and absolute ability to obey orders. Ming Yu lifted the curtain of the car and looked at the sky. It was really late. So he said politely, "Okay, Commander Mo, you can do it." Mo Zhong was very familiar with things like marching, fighting, setting up camps, etc. A layman, how can a layman command a layman? Therefore, these things along the way are also arranged by Commander Mo. After getting along these days, Mo Zhong already knew Ming Yu's temperament, and it is not surprising that Ming Yu said such a thing. He had also heard about the reputation of the 14th prince before, and thought he was an unreasonable, arrogant and willful person, but he didn't expect to get along with him. The prince didn't have the slightest resemblance to the rumors, and he was very talkative. Since the 14th prince has already said so, it is to be handed over to him. Mo Zhong took orders and arranged for scouts to go to the village to inquire. He must be careful and ensure the safety of the 14th prince. Especially, the more he goes to the western boundary, the more vigilant he should be. After all, this place is not peaceful, and there are often barbarians people invade. Although there are Dayan troops stationed here, they are also guarding against a large-scale barbarian army. There are also a small number of barbarians who will escape the eyelids of Dayan's garrison in small groups, sneak into the hinterland, burn, kill and loot the local people. They are always elusive, coming and going like the wind. There is no way to take them, the most headache. After a while, the scout came back, his face pale, and reported to Mo Zhong what he had seen and heard. The more Mo Zhong listened, the more solemn his face became, and his heart skipped a beat. It seemed that what he was worried about had come so soon. After thinking about it, he decided to check the situation first and then go to the 14th prince. What? Ming Yu's face changed after hearing Mo Yang's report. Let's go and see. I'm afraid of danger here, Your Highness. Your subordinate wants to send someone to have the garrison come to escort you, but I don't know what Your Highness means. How's it going? Mo Zhong said worriedly. Ming Yu had already jumped out of the carriage. Hearing this, his brows were slightly wrinkled, and he finally shook his head. We have reached the boundary of Liangzhou, and the garrison can't protect it for a while. We will live here in peace in the future, only you can rely on yourself. Why do you need to do this and bother others? However, those barbarians, they are cruel, His Royal Highness. If there is an emergency, this Mo Zhang was worried, especially after seeing the tragic situation at the scene. He was even more worried. It doesn't matter to these people, but if something happens to the 14th prince, none of the hundreds of them will be able to escape, and they may even affect their family members. Ming Yu thought about it for a while, shook his head, and said with relief, "We may not be able to meet. Even if we do, what can we do? I heard that there are only a few hundred or so people who attack this kind of small group at most. After all, there are 500 guards here, so it's impossible to be so afraid of barbarians. Right?" Mo Yang's face turned slightly red when His Highness said these words. To be honest, he was really worried about this. I heard that although the number of barbarians who invaded was small, they were all ruthless. His Royal Highness. Mo Zhang was still waiting to persuade, but Ming Yu waved his hand. Don't say more, Commander Mo will lead the way. Go to the village first. Mo Zhang originally planned to persuade the 14th prince not to go there, but now after listening to Ming Yu's disdainful words, he thought about it and didn't stop him. Maybe it's not a bad thing to let him see it in person. Maybe the 14th prince can change his mind after seeing it. Thinking of such a cruel scene, Mo Zhang pursed his lips, and a flash of anger flashed in his eyes. Although everyone in the capital said that the barbarians were cruel and tyrannical, the descriptions in words were too pale, and no one saw the real means. Naturally can't imagine such a scene, but the scene he saw, I am afraid that he is not willing to see it again in this life. And it is no wonder that when the scout came back to report, his face was pale, even if he saw it for the first time. At that time, my heart was also overturned. Thinking of this, Mo Zhang hurriedly ordered dozens of personal guards, while he stepped forward to lead the way. The village was some distance away. Ming Yu and the others walked for a stick of incense before arriving at their destination. At a glance, the village was in a state of dilapidation, and a burst of blood came out from the air. Ming Yu frowned, raised his feet and walked in. His Royal Highness, Mo Zhang shouted. Seeing Ming Yu looking over, he reminded, His Royal Highness really wants to go in. It is best to have a mental preparation. Ming Yu was silent and closed his eyes. How? He clenched his fists and walked in resolutely. Although mental preparations have been made, Ming Yu is still shocked by the scene in the village. What kind of purgatory is this? There was blood everywhere, and the corpses were scattered everywhere. No matter whether it was an old man in their 70s or 80s or a child of 2 or 3 years old, none of them escaped. It has been several days, the blood has dried up and turned black. And the corpse has rotted and smelled. Several vultures are hovering high in the sky, staring at the corpse on the ground. Ming Yu's eyes were all red. For the first time in his life, he felt the anger overflowing from his chest. They are not human at all, they are worse than beasts. He clenched his fists tightly, and his nails had been pinched deep into his palms. But he didn't feel the pain it should have. He took a deep breath, looked up at the gloomy sky, and it was so heavy that he couldn't breathe. Your Highness, are you okay? Mo Zhang couldn't bear to see Ming Yu like this. The 14th prince, the noble prince who has been staying in the palace, pampered and pampered. When has he ever seen such a bloody scene? He really shouldn't have let him over. Mo Zhang felt a little regretful. Having been with the 14th prince for a long time, I have come to understand that this person who looks like a chubby and soft bun is actually the most soft-hearted. Although he seems to be ignorant about many things, as long as he understands it, he can draw inferences from one case to another. He is much smarter than the average person. I don't know why everyone calls the 14th prince a fool. To be honest, Ming Yu grew up without any disturbance in the stable environment of later generations since he was a child, and he has never seen such a scene even in killing chickens. At most in movies and TV series. However, everyone knows that those are fake, but these are real. The smell of blood and rancidity around your nose, the color of black and red in your eyes. All of this is real. Only then did Ming Yu come back to his senses, and his face paled and shook his head. Commander Mo, you should let restrain them. It's not a solution if no one cares. Rest in peace. Mo Zhang agreed. Ming Yu couldn't stay any longer at this time, turned back to the village entrance, and when he was about to return to the carriage to calm down, he saw smoke billowing not far away. Mo Zhang also saw it. There were dozens of horses and horses coming here. His heart was raised. It was not clear whether it was an enemy or a friend. If the barbarians who killed the villagers returned, how could this be? Is it bad? His Royal Highness, I don't know if these people are enemies or friends. I will protect you, so leave quickly. Mo Zhang said in a hurry. They came to guard only a few dozen people this time. So, Mo Yang's worry. Ming Yu also thought of it. He has seen the ferocity of the barbarians, and he is probably not their opponent. However, these people came too quickly, and they were just small figures in the dust. As if they had arrived in front of them in the blink of an eye. It was too late. Mo Zhang shouted, "Everyone guards! Be alert!" As soon as the voice fell, the personal guards guarded Ming Yu in the middle. Ming Yu was a little speechless. In this battle, wouldn't he have become a living target? The enemy knows at a glance that important people must be targeted. Ming Yu didn't have time to say anything. Dozens of cavalries had already surrounded him. Ming Yu could see clearly that these people were wearing red clothes and silver armor. Who are you? The leader of the newcomer held the horsewhip in his hands and pointed at Ming Yu and the others, and asked cautiously. Mo Zhang was really relieved when he saw the person who was coming. He took 2 steps forward and asked, "Is the person here in the Red Robe Army?" As soon as he said this, the guards around were all surprised. "Look at me, I look at you, what did their commander say? Red Robe Army? Is it really the Red Robe Army?" Everyone's eyes shone with admiration. Ming Yu thought that if they didn't think they had a mission, they would have rushed up to sign like a fanboy, right? I really didn't expect that just a name can make people excited like this. Ming Yu looked at Mo Zhang, and along the way, he heard Mo Zhang say that the most powerful army in Liangzhou is the Red Robe Iron Cavalry brought out by General Xie Yishou. This army of only 5,000 people is invincible, and it is the only existence that can make the enemy fear the wind and flee. If it weren't for this iron cavalry, the barbarians would be even more unscrupulous, and the current city of Liangzhou would have fallen long ago. It is for this reason that the Red Robe Army is famous and well known. And the leader of this army, Xie Yishou, is a legendary figure. He is a general admired by the people of Dayan Country, and he is also a general who was proclaimed by the emperor. This shows his ability and honor. At this time, it seems that the mental outlook of the Red Robe Army is indeed different. Look at the Red Robe Army who is still straight with his back straight and full of chills, and then look at the people around him who are still shaking with their feet and stomach. Ming Yu really didn't see it. These people are still the elites in the escort team. They were selected by thousands of choices. Compared with this, they are really more popular than the dead. The leading teenager looked at them condescendingly, and asked again, "Who are you? Why are you here?" This time, his tone was much better. Mo Zhang glanced at Ming Yu and saw that he nodded lightly. Then he clasped his fists and gave a comrade salute. "I am the commander of the left guard of the Imperial Guard in the capital, Mo Zhang. I will escort His Royal Highness Prince Duan to the fief Liangzhou today. City, pass by and come and have a look." Prince Duan? The leading young man thought for a moment. And then he suddenly realized that a few days ago, it seemed that there was indeed a prince who was sealed in Liangzhou. From what they said, the 14th prince was a fool. In fact, he was right. If it wasn't for being stupid, who would want this Liangzhou as a fief? He looked around and saw that his eyes were locked on Ming Yu, with a little doubt. So this is the one? You mean the 14th prince? Mo Zhang nodded. Not bad. After speaking, he showed his identity card. The leading young general looked at the identification card carefully. Then put down his guard, jumped off the horse, and clasped his fists to pay a salute to Ming Yu. His Royal Highness Wanan, under Jiyu, is General Xia's personal soldiers. And he is under his armor, so it is inconvenient to give a full ceremony. Please forgive me, Your Highness. Ming Yu smiled and waved his hand. He was impatient with these kneeling and bowing rituals. But it was better this way, no need to be more polite. What are you doing here? The teenager Jiyu didn't expect Ming Yu to talk so well, and was stunned. For a moment, this is the purpose of this. It turned out that they received news that a small group of barbarians had invaded and had already looted and slaughtered several villages. He pouted angrily, damn, these beasts, if I catch them. I have to peel their skins. Remove their bones. Drink their blood. He said what everyone was thinking. Indeed, those people who are mad, even if they are smashed to ashes, can't relieve their hatred. Ming Yu heard that several villages had been looted like this, and he was also anxious, as he was afraid that the delay would cause greater losses. So, he hurriedly said, then don't waste your time. Hurry up and follow up, or you will be late, and more people will suffer. Jiyu didn't seem to be too worried. He smiled confidently. His Royal Highness Duan, don't worry. Our general. The possible route of travel of these people has been predicted, and the troops have been divided into siege and interception. And none of these beasts will be able to escape. He said that he has 100% trust in their generals. Since their generals said to take these animal sacrifice flags, they must not run away. Because he has never seen the generals make mistakes. Blood debts are paid for by blood. How can they be bullied by the Dayan Country? After these words were spoken, everyone put their hearts down a little bit. General Xie was a well-known and ever-victorious general, and he would never aim for nothing. If they could wipe out the barbarians in the future, they would not have to worry about the safety of the 14th prince. In fact, such a small group of barbarians would not have been able to take part in the Red Robe Army. Just because of the fact that His Royal Highness Duan came to the fief. The prefect of Liangzhou Prefecture almost had gray hair. Why did this little ancestor choose Liangzhou as the fief? It is well known that this place is not peaceful. If His Royal Highness Duan has 3 long and 2 short ones, he will also have to take responsibility. After thinking about it, I found the Border Army Garrison General Wei for consultation. Prince Duan must not have any troubles here. If Prince's golden body is damaged in the slightest, their officials will be at an end. The highest official in the land of Liangzhou, who is both civil and military, is also full of slander in his heart. That stupid prince really doesn't know what he thinks. If the good Central Plains is not waiting, will he come here to die? If you want to die, don't implicate others. After discussing, we can only decide to send troops and horses to protect Prince Duan as soon as he enters the boundary of Liangzhou. However, before they could act, they received a letter from Prince Duan, saying that there was no need to labor and mobilize people, and that they had 500 guards. So there was no need to bother the local garrison. I go. Sure enough, a newborn calf is not afraid of tigers. This is a borderland, and there will be wars at any time. Do they think they are here to see the scenery? The two hadn't finished complaining, and at this moment, they received a report from the following people that a small group of foreign bandits had invaded. These two are one of the first and the other can't handle it well. If this group of barbarians bumped into Prince Duan's men, thinking about the result, I would be very sad. General Wei decisively ordered Xie Yishou to be summoned, so that General Xie must exterminate this small group of barbarians. It was a bit overkill to dispatch the Red Robe army for such a small amount of barbarians. The Red Robe Iron Cavalry and the Barbarian Cavalry fought hard battles. The small group of foreign pirates before can be solved by dispatching troops in the border areas. Even if they encounter hard stubbornness, they can send several times more troops to drive them out. Xie Yishou narrowed his eyes slightly, rubbing his index finger with his thumb, as if he was weighing something, and he didn't agree or say no. General Wei had no choice but to tell everything about everything. This Xie Yishou was the most relied upon general under his command. It is said that the people of Shuishi country scare their children to use his name to stop the children from crying. In the face of this heavy general, General Wei did not dare to fool around. At the moment, he promised a lot of benefits, which made General Xie relieved and took over the task. Therefore, there was a group of people in the Red Robe army who tracked the barbarians and met Ming Yu. Since the team of Jiyu met Prince Duan, they naturally had to escort him. Ming Yu did not refuse at this time. He was not a stubborn person. He had underestimated the situation here when he refused the escort of the local garrison before. Now that he sees the scene in the village, he realizes that he is naive. He already understands the situation here. After they go back, they will definitely spread the word among the guards. I am afraid that people will be panicked. The Red Robe army is here to stabilize the morale of the army, so there is no need for him to bother. Why not do it? There's no harm anyway, isn't it? Mo Yang's heart completely calmed down. At first, he was afraid that His Highness would not agree, and he prepared a bunch of rhetoric to persuade him. He did not expect His Highness to respond so readily, which was beyond his expectations. He ordered people to deal with the funeral here, and then escorted Ming Yu back.